Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Donald with Hidden Path Human Design. And today I just want to talk a little bit about the projector type, like what it means to be a projector from a generator's perspective. All right, so what is a projector? Projectors have undefined sacral centers, and the sacral center is over here. It's the square box just below the diamond-shaped box. And that means they also have no motor connection to their throat. So the throat can be defined, as in this body graph I'm showing here, but they don't have a motor connection. So the body graph typically has four motors here: the ego, the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root. So as you can see, none of these are defined and attached to the throat. So that means that this is a projector body graph here. Projectors are here to master systems. They're pretty intelligent from my observation. They're really good at showing others how to use their energy. And yeah, they're very valuable guides. The projector strategy is to wait for recognition and invitation to things. And we're going to talk about that strategy more in depth later on. The signposts for the projector are success or bitterness. So, feeling successful when you're doing something or feeling bitter about having done something. They have an aura that's focused and absorbing. And they come into life with an existential question of who are you? Or will I be noticed? Projectors tend to be really interested in who other people are, not so much self-interested. All right, projectors are a non-energy type, and this always throws people off because they're like, what does it mean to be a non-energy type as a projector? Well, projectors and reflectors are considered non-energy types. Because they're non-energy types, their energy is able to tap into the energy of others. And this provides them with this outside perspective of how well they are, of how the other person is using their energy. Is the person frustrated, angry? Are they peaceful or satisfied? The projector kind of knows this by being in aura with others. And projectors are very good at energy management. So, if somebody's not performing a task at like using their energy really well, a projector will be able to guide and point that out quite easily. So the projector strategy is to wait to be invited. Waiting is an active state of awareness. So an active state of awareness is any state where you're in an environment and you're just aware of your surroundings, who's recognizing you, and so forth. An invitation is who is inviting you to guide them. So who's asking you for your guidance or energy? And recognition. One thing to note is projectors are always recognized. As an outsider, not a projector myself, I always see when a projector walks into the room, heads turn. So just note, you're always recognized. So it's important to understand what you're really being recognized for, right? Are people inviting you to help them move house and use your energy to move boxes? Do you have the energy to do that? Is that something, you want to do? Or are they inviting you to help plan a party? And maybe you're a party planner and you're really good at giving guidance there. So make sure that the invitation is correct for how much energy it's going to cost you, and make sure that you feel recognized, like you really feel appreciated. Like if someone's going to invite you to help them out, they also need to be willing to come and get you at the event and for the event or whatever else it is that's going on. So the more appreciated you feel, the more recognized would mean that it makes it an easier decision to go ahead with it, because you'll feel good about that. Projectors, it's important for them to set healthy boundaries. So projectors can kind of let other people in, because it becomes kind of like you can become a little bit desperate at times, like, why isn't anybody recognizing me or inviting me? And it can go into the place where you're always reaching out for those invites. And actually, some projectors I know invite others. And, when you're trying, even as a generator, anytime you're trying or trying to initiate something, it's always going to blow up in your face, because part of the strategy here is to wait. So building patience as a projector, mastering your systems while you're waiting, just being in the right environments with the people who are going to be able to see you. Those are things you should really focus on. And projectors are really great at providing one-on-one advice and guidance. So make sure that that's what you're doing when you're being invited to something. And obviously getting equally compensated for your advice or guidance. Projectors really need to understand the other types or the other people they're going to encounter while moving around. This understanding will help reduce the resistance in your life. So approximately 70% of people are sacral beings or generators of some type, either manifesting generators or generators. Or pure generators, they're called. And these generators need to use their energy. And they're really disinterested in others most of the time. They're interested in themselves. So there could be a little bit of they're not really, you may not feel like they're recognizing you, because maybe they have problems that they're trying to work through. So it's important to also realize that dynamic in a projector-generator relationship. Right? Like, is this person just self-interested when I talk to them? Are they just always turning the conversation back on themselves and that's all they care about? Or do they actually ask me questions too and help me learn about myself? Because part of why you want to understand others is understanding others helps you understand who you are. And then we have approximately 9% of the population of people are interested in their impact, and these would be our manifestors. And manifestors are kind of closed off oracally from all the other types, and they're here to create impact. So that's what they're interested in. Like, who am I going to impact? So when you run into a manifestor, they may bowl you over with their energy or just want to do things their way. And manifestors in particular don't always appreciate questions from others, because they know what they want to do and they just want to move towards that. So sometimes they could be hard to work with. So it's just something to note when you're a projector. And then we have approximately 1% of the population are sampling and constantly changing, like with the lunar cycles. And these are reflectors. And reflectors, they're kind of here to sample groups of people, how large corporations are going, or other things in life. And they're really trying to understand, they're kind of a reflection of the environment. So a sickly reflector would be a reflection of a poor environment. But a really healthy reflector, mentally or otherwise, would be indicating that the environment that they're in is very healthy for them. So it's all about being mindful of whose energy you're actually taking in with that focused and absorbing aura. Okay, so what can you do while waiting? I've yet to meet a projector that isn't well studied. Like most of the projectors I know, they know one or more systems, and they love their systems. You know, this could be anything from like meditation practice to scheduling. Yeah, I've met some pretty talented projectors. So, and it's all about, you know, choosing the systems that serve you, that serve your energy to master. So, like, what systems do you enjoy learning about? And, you know, you know, if you're younger, asking your parents for the resources or finding the resources for yourself and asking for them to master those systems. Learning about other people in your life, you know, might ask you for your advice. So, like, yeah, when you learn about other people in your life, you know, they might ask you for your advice. So, networking is a little bit important for the projector. I know sometimes, you know, this is just pretty broad because, you know, your profile may mean that you're not much of a networker and you need your alone time. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But you know, who you know and where you are in your environment is going to support you or it's not going to support you. So it's just important to take a look at that. It's good to put yourself in environments that are aligned with how you would like to be recognized as a person. So, do you want to be known as being the accounting type person, or do you want to be known as the, you know, miniature train model person? You know, you got to take all these things into account, you know. Like, where are you going to be seen by other people who are going to recognize you for the things that you love doing, like the systems that you've mastered and enjoy? It's important for projectors to rest and let go of unhealthy energy that they take on throughout the day. So, as you're moving throughout the day, you're going to be kind of penetrating into others and absorbing their energy. So, if that person wasn't in such a good mood, you may be carrying that on yourself. If the person was in a great mood, you may be really awake and it might be hard to go to sleep at night. So, it's important to kind of like imagine, like, you know, just doing maybe a little bit of a meditation practice in the evening. And imagine, like, you know, the energy of others is being washed away from your centers so that you can have peace for yourself. Yeah. The two signposts for a projector, this is to know if you're going in the right direction or the wrong direction, are success and bitterness. One of our conditioned beliefs about success is having a lot of money, a large family, or other assets, you know, boats, planes, trains, whatever that is. But all that stuff is kind of superficial success. What success to a projector really means is there's this internal sense that can't really be measured by material wealth or family and friends. It's like this internal feeling, from what I know. And then you have bitterness. So bitterness is also a feeling or a sense, and it's closely related to what you may perceive as failures in life. So you may tend to become bitter about those things, like I didn't you know, I didn't get to date this person, or I didn't get the job I want, and now I'm stuck doing this job that I don't like to do. So now I feel bitter because all these perceived failures, whether they're real or perceived, I guess they could be actual failures, to lend themselves to feeling bitter. And bitterness really has the power to make other people feel nauseous. So when you have a projector who is initiating and they're feeling bitter, they're almost injecting that into other people when they pierce their auras. And when you have a projector that feels successful, right, and they're being asked and stuff, well, they're bringing that success energy around as well. So it's important. It's important to know about and be mindful. So here are some tips for raising projector children. It's important to teach them about inviting and even inviting their advice and get them familiar with becoming invited to things, invite them to the park to play, invite them to the movies, invite them to family events, so they can become familiar with listening for that invitation. And they'll also feel like they're being seen or recognized. Co-sleeping, like I'm not gonna be here to tell you what to do or not to do with your children, but co-sleeping, it's probably unavoidable within the first 7 years of life. But just be conscious of your own energy. If you're going to bed frustrated or angry all night, that energy is going to get kind of absorbed by your children if you're co-sleeping with them. So, that's when you wake up in the morning and maybe you both didn't have a good sleep. And the same goes for them. Like if they had a bad night, you could be waking up feeling pretty bad yourself. So it's important to be mindful of when if co-sleeping is appropriate for you or not. It's really a personal decision. Teach your projector children to be aware of the people they are spending time with, and ask them if that is who they want to be with. So, when you're absorbing other people's energy throughout the day, you can kind of take on a bit of like how they feel without really knowing it. So, just getting your children to recognize themselves in the relationship with others, which, projectors are all about their relationships with others, is really important to get children feeling like, I went to Tommy's house and I started feeling very bad or whatever. Like, talk with your children. Or, whenever I spend time with Julie, I feel awesome and amazing. I really feel seen. Just listen for how your children feel when they're with other children. Teach your children to ask. So, asking is a way of getting them to like break down barriers and kind of let other people know when they need help or their energy to do things. This approach will serve them well as they get older. And now asking is not initiating. Asking is more just asking like, oh, can you help me with this? Or can you help me with that? And being okay with a no answer, a yes or a no. Projector children tend to be very smart. So if possible, and if you have the resources, try to do your best to support their educational pursuits. If you want to work with me, I empower mothers who are overwhelmed, stuck in societal expectations, with endless responsibilities, and give them the tools and knowledge to become self-actualized so that they can create a harmonious family life that they've always dreamed of. Details are in the video description below. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more videos.